Good day guys, LousyFlying, and after a long break, a few months actually, we're back in Flight Simulator X, and we're flying from Cape Town to Joburg on request. It's the 10th busiest route in the world apparently, and it's the busiest route in Africa. And we'll be using CAW because I know some of you guys wanted to do a Cape Town to Lanseria flight. Unfortunately, I don't have the scenery for Lanseria. There's no freeway scenery available that I could use. Unless there is, please do tell me. But for now, we're gonna just do Cape Town to Joburg. And the reason why I'm using British Airways for CAW is because Kalula would probably go to Lanseria. Unlike British Airways, I think they go to Lanseria as well, but they mostly go to Johannesburg. So it's Foxtrot Alpha Charlie Tango Cape Town to Foxtrot Alpha Oscar Romeo, which is Johannesburg International. Flight's about 2 hours, or 1 hour 55 minutes to be exact. CAW does use British Airways in real life. They use British Airways and Kalula. So we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, it's a rainy day. I live quite close to Cape Town in real life, and it does kind of look like this at the moment. It is raining, but once we clear out and we break through the clouds, it should be clear from then on out. Joburg, apparently there's no cloud coverage, but the visibility, last I checked on my meter, was about 7 kilometers or 4.3 statute miles, but we'll see when we get there. I think the catering is done. Are you guys done? Should be. Yeah. We're on ground power for now, but we'll change to APU as soon as the catering leaves. And when boarding is in process, we'll switch on the APU. So let's jump into the cockpit and do our checks. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit, and we're going to do our first checks on the pre-flight checklist. Pins and covers are removed. Oxygen, we can test the jump seat oxygen over here. It's good. The pilot's oxygen is good. Co-pilot oxygen is also good. Nav chance and display switches are all on normal and auto. Normal. Everything's good. Auto's there, it's all set. Window heat. Actually, let me just go over the overhead panel and just do all these checks here. We can align the IRS to set them to nav. Oops. Test the flaps there. We could do a stall warning test. Speed warning. Once you can test the flight recorder. Your dump pick is there for now. Fuel we'll set this in a minute for APU. Okay, then everything looks fine. Navigations likewise. APU is off for now. Ground power is on. 28 volts. It's good. Circular lights are all off, and fasten seatbelt signs are off. This working is always on. We test the cockpit voice recorder. That looks good. It's supposed to be off for now. There we go. Window heats on. Probe heats can stay off. Engine anti-ice is off. Air temps are good. Cabin air forward and aft cabins and Patius cabin airs are all on auto. Recirculation fans can actually come on now. Packs are off for now. Valve is on auto. APU bleed is off. Cool. Our cruising altitude today is 37,000. We're flying east. Our landing altitude Johannesburg's landing or elevation is 5,550. Rounded off. Good. Come turn this panel, landing lights are all off, turn taxi lights off, APU is off for now. Engine mode selectors are on off. Logo lights on. Strobe, sorry, my department position, strobe and steady is on steady. Collision lights are off, wing lights on, wheel lights off. As you can see, it is raining at the moment. Everything else looks pretty good. Switch that off, switch these off. It's just telling us to enter the IRS position, which we'll do in a minute. You can certainly set QNH. I'll just double check the QNH. Okay, QNH is still 1014 according to the meter for Cape Town. So we can set that here. And we will be using hectopascals because we are not in America. And let's go to that side too. Fantastic. QNH is now 1014 hectopascals, so I can actually read the Cape Town meter out to you for now. Okay, so at 1100 Zulu, winds are 210 at 12 knots, variable between 170 and 230, so we'll be using a runway 19 for departure. RA for rain, which is pretty obvious. Clouds are scattered at 800 feet AGL, broken at 1200 AGL. Temperatures 14, dew point 12. QNH 1014, which we've done here, no significant change. So that's all good. Winds not too hectic, 12 knots is that's 210, variable between 170 and 230, so it's not too bad for takeoff. I don't think we'll be needing too much rudder correction. Let's just close these doors to make the ground crew happy, stop bitching in my ear about closing the doors. You can open the cargo doors for now. And we can request boarding. Fuel, we'll be using 7.8 tons for this flight, including reserves. It's set. Payload, we can, don't worry about payload, but we can set it random. Yeah, it's fine. 60.10 fuel weight, 60.1 tons. We'll be needing that information in a minute. Our lead levels are quite high, which is pretty cool. Come over to this left FMC. Currently at Foxtrot Alpha Charlie Tango. We won't worry about the gates. We are, let's say, copy the GPS left. We're going to place it in the IS position. And everything comes to life. Fantastic. Come to route. Cape Town to Joburg route is very, very easy to remember. I can use it. I just know it off the top of my head. That's in a minute. We are Comair, Charlie Alpha Whiskey 623. We're using runway 19 for departure, corners to wind. And our departure, we go to departures 19 Teton 1 Alpha departure. The Teton 1 Alpha to Teton, this is going to be our route page. And from Teton, we're going to provide the Upper Zulu to our nav route to Nivix. November, India, Bravo, Echo, X-ray. You can activate and execute that. Perfinite page, 60.1, pound fuel is 7.8 tons. It is correct up there. Reserves is 1.2 tons. Our cost index, I'll just take, I think South African Airways often use 50 for this flight. 9% sure. Transition altitude is 7,500 feet here at Cape Town. 5.37, oops, 370 is our cruising altitude. Let's keep that in. I don't worry about the next page. or in one limit or whatever, cell OHT, don't worry about that. We'll be using full thrust, 26k, 26,000 pounds of thrust. Flaps 5 for this flight, trim given to us, and it gives us our V1, V rotate, and V2 speeds. Cool. Can probably start our APU. Lift the forward fuel pump, forward lift fuel pump, and we can switch APU on. Just wait for this needle to rise. When it does rise, it will come up to here, AGT, and then before you drop down to about 4, that's where we switch over to APU generator. Anyway, carrying on with the pre-flight checklist. Our window heats are on, air conditioning pressure. Packs are on off, but they should be for now. Lead will be on as soon as the APU comes alive. And everything else is set. Flight instruments. We're tracking 282, 282. QNH 1014 on both sides, left and right. And our reading is 160 feet, so left and right, which is all, just maybe just double check, yep, it's all good. Parking brake needs to be set. Engine start levers are on cut off. Throttle is on idle. Running Addons trim 3 and 0, test and takeoff briefing. It's quite self-explanatory, but we taxi via Alpha, cross runway 16, and hold short runway 19 for a season 1 Alpha departure. Runway 19, which is, we don't need the ATC for that. Fuel is 7.8 tons or 7,800 kilograms. Pumps are on as long as the APU is alive, so we can select that. Disconnect ground power. Select all fuel pumps. We can put on bus A for hydraulics. Bus A is alive. Packs can come on. And the APU can come on. You see the PSI is rising. Cool. Passenger signs, we'll set in a minute. It's Jesus Refuge. Boarding's completed, fantastic, so we can actually close all the doors. Close left door, close cargo doors. Disconnect ground power and wheel chocks. And I'll set this page to the progress page. Let's make sure this is all set. Okay, we can put in the MCDU now. Course for runway 19 is 189 degrees. Sit down on both sides. So, initial climb often in Cape Town is 9,000 feet. Our heading can be the same as our course, which is 189. And our V2 speed is 150. Oh, there we go. You can select VORs, traffic and data. Same side, co-pilot side, machine space, traffic data, and you can put terrain on as well. ORBX RTO, flight directors on, and water throttle on. I'll know them being around. All good. Everything is set. This is QNH Squawk. You can Squawk 2000 because there was no ATC. You can test the Squawk as well. I mean, not the squawk, the TCAS.
TCAS test. Pass.
We're good. We've got to test the fire alarms. We'll test that now. The electric circuit connections are all 3 green. It's all good. We can test the systems test.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Okay. CDU pre-flight A class is completed. Taking speeds. V1 will run 39. Rotate 141. V2 150. MCP V2 is set 150. Heading is 189. Altitude is 9,000 feet for initial climb. Okay, before I start checklist, flight deck door is closed and locked. Doors and windows are closed and locked. Anti-collision light is to come on. And transponders on standby. So we can request pushback clearance. Nose right. Backs come off for engine start. Your damper can now come on, everything else seems to be good. The HGS or hugs. Yeah, it doesn't even align, but it's fine, we don't need it for now. I suppose we can put on our windscreen wipers if we want. Makes no difference to FSX in any case, but for immersion's sake, do it. Parking brakes released. On the way we can start engine 2 first. Engine 2 on ground. And as the engine starts speeding up, about 20% into, we can put in some fuel. Inject the fuel into the so, and now yeah, speeding up. Same process is going to be for engine 1. Okay, the clicks come back so I can put engine 1 on ground. It's 20%. Brakes set. Visibility isn't too great. As soon as we brake out, it should clear. Okay, that's the clicker head, and we can set both engines to continuous, switch the runway turn off and taxi lights on. can select Gen 1 and Gen 2 and switch off the APU. Electrics bus B can come on, and hydraulics can come on, pro beats can come on, packs can come on, APU beat can come off. Just absolutely forgot about the seatbelt sign, sorry about that. Right, virtual passengers, you can please put your seatbelts on right now. Forward taxi checklist, generators on, pro beats on, anti-ice is not required. Packs on auto, isolation valves auto, engine start switches on continuous, recall, no recall checked. Engine start levels on idle detent, these ones on idle. Flight controls, down, left, for right, for up, for left, for right, centered, rudder, left, right, centered, check. Now hydraulics are all good. Running equipment is clear and APU is off. So checklist, vortex checklist worked. This is the parking brakes and perhaps certified. Expecting turbulence on departure. According to METAR, there is slight turbulence. If you want to know where I get my METAR information, I get it from Active Sky Next. I am currently using Active Sky Next, which is why we have live weather. This is the live weather today, Friday at 10 to 2. This is what it looks like in Cape Town. It's quite decent. I want to exceed 20 knots ground speed in taxi. There isn't any traffic, so we are presumed clear to take off. Cross runway 16. And hold short Alpha 2. Yeah, Alpha 2. We won't be holding, we'll take off immediate for an immediate takeoff. Basically meaning that as soon as we're on the runway, we full takeoff, flaps, sector 5, green light, stabilizer trim. My gosh, you know what guys, let me just stop here. We're not going to do an immediate, because I forgot a crucial part of the takeoff, not really crucial, but important. You probably noticed it, and I forgot. I haven't flown this aircraft for a while, so please excuse me if I get these things wrong. I forgot to set trim of all things 481 units. So it's 4.81 units. Round about there. Okay, so trim is now set 20 fantastic. TCAS can come on to TARA. That's our transponder. Cabin call, very fast, it's a takeoff, fantastic. Not really model. Landing lights can come on, taxi light can come off, and strobes can come on. So we are ready for takeoff. That's what it looks like on the outside. Got a nice wing view, it's great. Okay. Button brake released, so 50% thrust. Toga. The reason why I bent over to look for it is because I can't see it from where I'm sitting. Very hungry.
V1.
V1.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
Was it red gear up? And these spoilers are up to the left. Let's go back to that as much as we can. And now we can see bugger all. Down a bit on pitch, still flying manual. Flying thrust is initiated. We set command A to on, and that's our autopilot. Cumulus crowd. See some very frightening crowd up there. I know you're not advised to go flying to see the high level crowd like that. What the name of the bird crowd? I think it's Nimbus or Nimbus Stratus or something. Cirrus Stratus, I can't remember. Well, that's basically thunderstorm cloud as well as we can now go direct to Teton, to the next page. And we can set our climb to close enough to the 37,000 feet. Transition altitude, barometric pressure to standard. 10,000 feet, that's all. Sometimes whatever. Since we are about 10,000 feet, we'll now be accelerating to 310 knots. I think our cruising speed is Mach 0.78 or 77. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere around there. We have a wind behind us, which is great. It reduces the travel speed, travel time. In any case, there's not much else to do from now other than climb to our cruise altitude. So that's it for part 1. In the next part, we'll be on near our top of descent into Johannesburg. Thanks for watching and see you in the box.